Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zishan Rizvi Leadership Wala from Rehan AI Teacher Training Institute, batch 21. Today, I have a great opportunity to discuss with ChatGPT about exploring the connection between diet and mental well being. Good morning, GPT.
Good morning, Zeshan. I'm really glad to be part of this discussion with you. I'm ready to answer your questions in depth, so just fire away with the first one whenever you're ready.
My first question is how does what we eat influence our mood on a daily basis?
That's a great question. What we eat really does have a direct impact on mood. Our brain relies on nutrients like omega 3 fatty acids, vitamins, especially B vitamins, and antioxidants to regulate neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, key chemicals tied to happiness and calm. For instance, a diet high in refined sugars or processed foods can lead to energy crashes and irritability, while balanced diets rich in whole foods, fiber, and healthy fats tend to promote steadier moods and mental clarity.
Okay. Can certain foods actually help reduce stress and anxiety?
Absolutely. Some foods have been shown to have calming effects. For example, foods rich in magnesium, like leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, can help lower cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone. Similarly, omega 3 fatty acids found in fish and flax seeds can reduce inflammation linked to anxiety. And fermented foods like yogurt or kimchi can support gut health, which is closely tied to mood and stress regulation.
What role do nutrients play in brain function and emotional balance?
Nutrients are really foundational for brain function. For instance, B vitamins like B6, B12, and folate help produce neurotransmitters that regulate mood, like serotonin and dopamine. Omega 3 fatty acids support cell membrane fluidity, which keeps brain cells communicating effectively. Antioxidants, like those from berries or green tea, protect brain cells from oxidative stress. So, a balanced nutrient intake essentially provides the fuel for stable emotions and cognitive clarity.
Mm, oh, how does sugar consumption impact mental health over time?
Over time, high sugar consumption can have a pretty negative impact on mental health. It can cause spikes and crashes in blood sugar, which often lead to irritability, fatigue, and anxiety. Chronic high sugar intake is also linked to inflammation, insulin resistance, and even a higher risk of depression. So, moderating sugar intake can be a key step toward better long term mental well being.
Is there a connection between gut health and happiness?
Yes, definitely. The gut and the brain are closely connected through what's called the gut brain axis. A healthy gut, supported by a diverse microbiome, can influence neurotransmitter production, like serotonin, which is often called the happiness hormone. So, when the gut is balanced through fiber, probiotics, and nutrient rich foods, it can help stabilize mood and promote a greater sense of happiness.
And how do processed food affect our energy level and mindset?
Processed foods tend to be high in added sugars, unhealthy fats, and low in fiber, so they can cause quick spikes in energy followed by crashes. This leaves people feeling tired, foggy, and less motivated. Over time, this can affect mindset, increasing irritability, anxiety, or even a sense of low mood. By contrast, whole foods keep energy more stable and support a clearer, more balanced mindset.
Can hydration level influence focus, clarity, and mood?
Absolutely. Even mild dehydration can affect cognitive function. When you're dehydrated, you might experience reduced focus, slower reaction times, and mental fog. Hydration also plays a role in regulating mood. So, when you're well hydrated, you often feel more energetic, focused, and emotionally balanced.
What are some brain boosting foods everyone should include in their diet?
Great question. Some top brain boosting foods include fatty fish like salmon, which are rich in omega 3s, blueberries packed with antioxidants, leafy greens like spinach and kale full of vitamins, and nuts, especially walnuts, for healthy fats. Also, whole grains and turmeric have shown positive effects on memory and concentration.
How does caffeine consumption affect anxiety and sleep patterns?
Caffeine can be a double edged sword. In moderate amounts, it can boost alertness and focus, but if consumed too much or too late in the day, it can heighten anxiety by stimulating the nervous system, and it can also disrupt sleep by delaying the onset or reducing the quality of rest. So, being mindful of timing and portion can help keep both anxiety and sleep patterns balanced.
Can poor eating habits contribute to condition like depression?
Yes, they can. Research suggests that poor eating habits, like a diet high in processed foods, sugar, and low in essential nutrients, can increase inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which are linked to depression. Conversely, nutrient rich diets, like those full of omega 3s, fiber, and vitamins, can help reduce the risk or severity of depression.
What is emotional eating and how can we manage it effectively?
Emotional eating is when we use food as a way to cope with emotions like stress, boredom, or sadness, rather than to satisfy hunger. To manage it, it's really about building awareness, recognizing the emotions that trigger it, and finding alternative coping strategies. Things like mindful eating, stress reduction techniques, and keeping a food journal can help break that cycle.
How does meal timing impact mental performance and stability?
Meal timing plays a big role in mental performance and stability. Eating at regular intervals, like balanced meals every few hours, helps maintain steady blood sugar levels. If we skip meals or eat too sporadically, we can get brain fog, fatigue, or irritability. So, consistent meal timing supports better focus, mood stability, and cognitive endurance throughout the day.
Are there cultural diets that support better mental well being?
Yes, absolutely. For example, the Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, fish, olive oil, and whole grains, has been linked to lower rates of depression and anxiety. Similarly, traditional Japanese diets, abundant in fish, seaweed, and fermented foods, support longevity and mental clarity. These patterns tend to be nutrient dense and reduce inflammation, which helps support mental well being.
How does skipping meals affect mood swing and irritability?
When we skip meals, our blood sugar drops, and that can lead to feelings of fatigue, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. Our brain relies on a steady supply of glucose for optimal function, so when that supply is inconsistent, we often become more reactive, stressed, or just emotionally unstable.
And what is the relationship between diet and sleep quality?
Diet plays a big role in sleep quality. For example, a diet rich in tryptophan, found in foods like turkey, nuts, and dairy, can boost serotonin and melatonin, which regulate sleep. On the other hand, heavy or spicy meals, caffeine, or alcohol close to bedtime can disrupt sleep cycles. So, what we eat can help us either fall asleep more easily or keep us up.
Can mindful eating improve both mental and emotional health?
Yes, definitely. Mindful eating, paying full attention to the experience of eating, helps us tune into hunger, fullness, and cravings without judgment. This awareness can reduce stress around food, improve our relationship with eating, and even help regulate emotions, so it fosters a calmer mind and more balanced mood.
How do deficiencies in vitamins like B12 or D affect mental health?
Vitamin deficiencies can have a real impact on mental health. For instance, B12 is crucial for nerve function and the production of mood regulating neurotransmitters. A lack of it can lead to fatigue, memory issues, or even depression. Vitamin D is also key. Low levels are associated with low mood and seasonal affective disorder. So, ensuring adequate levels of both supports a stable mood and cognitive function.
What are simple dietary change that can improve mental clarity?
A really simple change is to increase your intake of whole foods, like adding more vegetables, fruits, and whole grains to your daily meals. These foods provide steady energy, fiber, and essential vitamins. Another small tweak is reducing processed sugar, which can help improve mental clarity by avoiding those energy crashes.
How does inflammation from food impact brain health?
Inflammation from certain foods, especially those high in sugar or saturated fats, can disrupt brain function. Chronic inflammation is linked to oxidative stress, which damages neurons, and it's also tied to cognitive decline and mood disorders. By reducing inflammatory foods and adding anti inflammatory ones like berries, leafy greens, and omega 3s, you can help protect brain health and improve mental clarity.
Can a balanced diet enhance productivity and decision making?
Absolutely. A balanced diet provides steady energy and nutrients that fuel brain activity. When your body's well nourished, your focus, attention, and memory improve, which directly enhances productivity. Plus, balanced eating stabilizes mood, so you're less likely to be distracted by energy crashes or emotional swings, helping you make clearer, more confident decisions.
Awesome. And how does diet influence long term cognitive health and memory?
Diet plays a huge role in long term cognitive health. Diets rich in antioxidants, omega 3s, and vitamins like the Mediterranean or DASH diet can reduce the risk of cognitive decline and memory loss. They help protect brain cells from damage, improve blood flow, and support neuroplasticity. So, a nutrient dense diet can keep your memory sharper for years to come.
What is the link between Food craving and emotional states.
Food cravings are often tied to emotional states because certain foods trigger comfort or reward pathways in the brain. For example, sugary or high fat foods can provide a temporary mood boost. So, when we're stressed, bored, or anxious, we might crave those foods. By being aware of these patterns and finding alternative coping strategies like walking or mindful breathing, we can break that emotional eating cycle.
And how can we build sustainable eating habits for better mental well being?
Building sustainable eating habits starts with small, manageable changes. Focus on consistency, like incorporating a variety of colorful fruits, veggies, and whole grains. Keep a flexible mindset, allowing occasional treats without guilt, and pair meals with mindful practices like paying attention to hunger cues. Over time, these habits create a foundation for both physical and mental well being.
Are supplements necessary, or can diet alone support mental health?
For most people, a well rounded diet can provide the essential nutrients needed for mental well being. However, in certain cases, like if you have a deficiency in vitamin D, B12, or omega 3s, supplements can help fill gaps. It's always best to start with a balanced diet first and then talk to a healthcare professional if you suspect you need extra support.
What is one small change in diet that could make a big difference in your mood?
One small change is simply adding more fiber to your diet, like through whole grains, beans, and veggies. Fiber supports stable blood sugar, which helps keep your energy and mood steady. Plus, a fiber rich diet supports gut health, which, as we discussed, is closely tied to mood and mental clarity.
Thank you very much, JPT. It was really, really an excellent program, and you have provided a great amount of information, valuable information. And hopefully, I will touch base with you again with a new question, new subject, and new program. Until then, let me say bye to you. Have a very wonderful day. Bye bye.
You're very welcome. I'm really glad the info was helpful. Definitely reach out anytime with new topics. Have a fantastic day and take care.